Welcome back to my channel, guys. Guys, I am a lifelong artist. Elementary school, middle school, high school. I went to cosmetology school, and I've been, my entire adult life, I've been in a profession where I use that art every day. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll is often associated with art and creativity, but I would argue that there's a bigger drug out there than maybe, narcotics or weed or cocaine, any of that. The drug that really takes over creatives is, man, that high of people acknowledging your art. And as of late, I would say it's this high of entrepreneurship and owning something and building something and starting something that is really a draw to so many artists and creatives. As a matter of fact, when I think of I guess you can call it the salon suite revolution, it is directly connected to marketing that I see. Now look, we just crossed over 1,600 members in our Salon Suite Facebook group. Guys, join that group if you want community. You want to work for yourself but not by yourself, having other people to kind of bounce ideas off of. So I'm in support of anybody in this industry. I think that the Salon Suite movement is one that's not going anywhere, and it's exciting for a lot of people. But I never like to see that marketing that says,
do you want to be your own boss? Aren't you tired of working for people? Don't you want to get all of the money? Don't you want to control your destiny? Don't you want to have your own brand?
That shit is intoxicating. It is a high. And I did not myself operate in a salon suite. I had a salon with a staff and space to be able to put 3, 4. At our max, we had 6 people up in there. But I work with almost exclusively a lot of times people that are in salon suites. So I hear how people are high off of that. And what's the thing, so once you decide to get your own brand, right? People skipping over this opportunity to work with other people, to have that post-graduation from cosmetology school, seemingly apprentice. I wasn't necessarily somebody's apprentice, but I worked in 6 salons before I even opened my own. So in my mind, I got to see and watch and sit next to people that were always better than me, right? I wasn't the best person in my salon until I opened my salon. And hell, there were years when I had my salon and I still wasn't the best person. And that was exciting. But now there is this really phenomena that's happening where people are going to cosmetology school, barbering school, and they're never working with anybody else. They're going directly into their own space, in particular salon suites. And it feeds that high, that drug, if you will, of getting to own something and people getting to acknowledge you and you get to make these decisions. And that's what I want to focus this video, this vlog on. But then you gotta think about it, man. We spend our lives being misunderstood. Our parents don't get us a lot of times. Our siblings may or may not get us. I had the pleasure of having a sibling that was a creative, that is an artist. Some of us have siblings and cousins, and we're the oddball. Oftentimes, right? We are the weirdo in our family. Many of us grow up not being understood in our schools, in our communities, in our churches. We're outcasts. Hopefully we can find friends of ours that we come up with, maybe love interests that get us. But when you get a chance now to build something, to make something like a business, and you get now in 2023 and beyond, you can create a website and an Instagram page and a YouTube channel and a TikTok page, and it's like, bro, that thing is exciting. It's got a lot of people quitting their jobs. It's got a lot of people shifting over. Everybody wants a side hustle, and many, many, many people run to this industry. And that high at the beginning, let's talk about some of the things that really feeds that high. Picking the logo. You get to pick a symbol that represents you and your brand. That word alone, you get to have a brand. You get to have like a place in the world that people have to acknowledge. You get to pick your colors of your brand, right? Like for me, my salon colors at one time were orange, then we switched over to black and white and gray, then we added like a kiwi color. My company now used to have black and green, then we were black and red. Now I'm using yellows and black. That's fun, things that are connected to you, almost like a football team or a sports team has a logo or a mascot and colors. You get to pick that. That's why entrepreneurship is so exciting, and it's really a draw and excitement to a creative. And it's like this. It's deeper than liquor. It's bigger than weed and coke and meth, fentanyl, any of that shit. The high of people having to say, I see you, and getting to choose and decide things. Then you get to get your salon suite, right? It happens in salons, but it's an explosion of it with salon suites, and you get to paint the walls, right? And you get to decide the name of the place. You know what I mean? Your daughter's name is Heaven, and you spell her name backwards, and it's Nevaeh Hair Studio. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking that. If you got Nevaeh Hair Studio out there, get with me. I'd love to work with you in your business. I'm just using you as an example. You know, there's a lot of people that name the salon after their children or their zodiac, or if you're a religious person, Blessed Hands. It's a Blessed Hands salon in every city all over the world, right? So that's exciting. You get to name it. For me, man, I grew up in New Orleans, right? I loved music. I loved, hip hop, and I was surrounded around people that were into playing instruments. So I named my business Rhythm Hair Studio, and I picked a logo, you know what I mean? That my business, I tatted it on my damn body. I'm not telling you something that I didn't go through myself. I know that shit is exciting. Along the way, you get to determine what it looks like and the furniture. Then you get to set up an Instagram page. Oh my goodness. Maybe you get a YouTube channel or a Facebook group. Then you get the grand opening. Oh shit. You get the grand opening and you invite people out and you tell all of them to wear black and your ass come up in there in red and you come in there wearing white and you hire a makeup artist because you gotta look the part. And I'm acting like this is a woman, but guys, we the same way. We get super sharp and you invite people out and you have your barber suite or your hair salon suite or salon. You might get the radio station out there and the TV out. This is exciting. You talking about a drug? I don't think it's nothing out there to get you this high. This is whoo. Then you get to pick what they eating, right? The little sandwiches, you cut them into fours, go to Publix, get you a little fruit tray. You know what I'm saying? Get you a couple bottles of champagne, but not too many. Get about 8 of the sparkling cider and got 2 bottles of champagne. You can't get too much of the liquor because you can't afford all that at the beginning. You ain't made no money yet. Then you get a photographer and a videographer and they shoot it. And then you make this beautiful photo album on social media and people you talking about a high? Post a success or something you accomplished, like opening up your business, like opening up your salon suite, and it's 200 people for 2 or 3 days that saying, congratulations, Ray, congratulations, dog, congratulations, Keisha. I'm using Keisha, that's my wife's name. Man, I'm so happy for you, blah, blah. That is a thrill. And then we pour the wine out or drink it all up, and we eat the last of the Swedish meatballs, and we eat all of the sandwiches, and you give somebody the fruit because people don't eat all of the fruit and vegetables, and then the DJ break his stuff down and the likes stop coming. No more comments. Maybe week, 2 weeks you get that, maybe. Then you got to run the business. The high is gone, and here's where people got to decide: are they going to actually follow through after this high or go searching other things to get high again? Which is why people love words like rebrand and relaunch and start over and I got a new thing and close this and start that, or start and stop, or shut down the Instagram page, or don't post anymore on your Facebook group. Or so it's like, Ray, are you talking about people? No, I'm telling you, as an artist, it's hard. It's hard not to continually chase the ultimate high. I wish it was something like liquor and drugs that was our only problem. I wish. Ray, that sounds bad. I wish it was something like that. That you could probably recover from. But the chase of the thrill of, ooh, we like you, and comments and congratulations, and that high of starting something, there is no other drug. And ultimately, where I come in as a coach and a consultant is I gotta do the tough work. I gotta actually tell people who pay me to help them in coaching and consulting that now you gotta get to work. Hey, yeah, be excited about your grand opening, and I saw you cut the ribbon, but now you gotta get to work. Now you gotta make some other decisions that are maybe not so exciting. How many days are you gonna work? How many hours are you gonna put in this business? Are you gonna hire a staff once it gets too busy? Are you gonna train people? Are you gonna go through the process of hiring, firing? what are going to be the services that you offer? What are going to be the services that you don't offer? Who's your customer? Are you making the business to fulfill you or them? What are your prices? Are you going to look around what everybody's doing around the city or area and go below them, just meet them, slightly above them? Or are you going to choose to be something that's elite and really step your game up, like we talked about in the previous video, with your skill set, with your service, with your marketing? We got to make hard decisions that are not as exciting as the brand colors or the logo or even the name of the business. See, because the stats say the average small business, 8 out of 10 of them, 80% don't make it to year 1 or 2. And I'm convinced it has a lot to do with that high and excitement. There's a book that I think every entrepreneur should read called The E-Myth. The book is called The E-Myth, or the entrepreneurial myth. And the myth is that businesses are started by entrepreneurs with vision and a plan and a mission statement, when in actuality, 8 out of 10 small businesses are started by technical people who didn't really have an entrepreneurial dream, but like he calls it an entrepreneurial seizure. Like you really woke up and people kept telling you, he uses the example of making pies, and you go open up a pie shop. When in actuality, you might not have needed to open up a business as much as go work in a pie factory, but the high of making something, of being the boss, of being your own boss, that go that marketing again.
Don't you want to be your own boss? Don't you want to be an entrepreneur and have your own destiny?
And people rent us $400 a week, a salon suite, or $1,500 a month in our own salon, our own business. And I'm just talking about the beauty industry, but this is going on in a lot of other industries. And then we out there in year 1 and we realize like, now it's not as exciting. And this is how businesses die, dreams die. And, depression comes because now a lot of creatives go through this cycle of fear of proving people right, that we didn't know what we were doing. And that's what I know my contribution to the industry is to say, listen, guys, I'm an artist, but I'm not no damn starving artist. And let's be entrepreneurs at best. And let's figure out a way to turn the art into income. Let's get excited about the numbers. Let's get excited about sales and profit. Let's run into learning about how to lead people, how to actually build a business. Let's not get seduced into thinking into this solopreneurship only take care of yourself, only think about ourselves, not thinking about the customer or the staff or the community. It's not fun. That stuff is not fun for the artists. Business meetings, balancing books, hiring, training. That shit is not the cool part. But if we don't wrap our mind around the business, if we don't wrap our mind around those decisions, that's not the Swedish meatballs and what kind of playlist is going to be at our grand opening, then we're going to find ourselves in that percentile that doesn't make it to year 1 and 2. And so I'm just sitting here thinking about that. I've had a lot of conversations with salon owners and business owners, and it's an ongoing challenge. And I tried to think of a way to talk about it. I was like, man, it's that high of owning something. It's like this challenge alone, these 30 videos, this is hard. And it's easy to say, all right, I did what I'm supposed to do. But it's hard to say, I'm going to keep going. I'm midway through the challenge. You got to keep going because you said you needed to learn what it took to be a content creator at this scale, to get back on YouTube in a full swing. And I'm not done yet. It's tough to have marketing and to think about other people instead of what you like to do versus what the customer needs. It's tough to actually say, well, I want to open up a business, but I need to get a staff and I got to go through what it takes to learn how to train them. And not only think about the creativity only. It's tough to not be in a business and only think about the high of art, but you got to think about the service, which is a lot more important. The customers will find out than even what we do, but how we do it. So my encouragement out there, guys, is to listen. It's hard not to get high off of that drug of art and creativity and people loving your stuff. Listen, this book by Gary Chapman, The 5 Love Languages, I clearly know that my, love language is words of affirmation. I love gifts, it's cool. Quality time is awesome. Physical touch, of course, we're human, right? And acts of service, my wife is acts of service for her. I love for people to do things for me. But see, if you tell me you appreciate me, that's how I'm wired. So that's why I can speak on this, is because I'm not speaking from the outside. I'm an artist. I am probably a little borderline empath too. I love people. I love to help folk. I love to be valued to people. I love to contribute. So I know that feeling. And when your art, this thing that's your identity, the thing that is wrapped up in who you are, is appreciated by others, and you get to use that for your profession, and you get to design all of the aesthetics around, guys, that shit, woo, that is a different kind of high. But always remember, we're not doing this as a hobby. This is not fun only. Yes, if you do something that you love, you never work a day in your life. Until you say you want to own something. Be an entrepreneur and be a business owner and try to take care of you, your family. And some of us are getting older to where we start thinking about, man, we got to have finances and capital to even help our parents or people that are older than us. We got to think a lot differently. In-laws. So we got to make sure that we're doing business and keep that artist in check. Let he or she run the show. But if they get to the point that they about to crash the car because they're getting high off their own supply.
Lesson number 2, don't get high on your own supply.
That's right. Lesson number 2, don't get high on your own supply. Because not everybody follows the rules, huh?
Of the art or the recognition or making something or being our own boss. Man, demote that joker. Put him in the passenger seat. Put him in the back seat. Keep him in position of creativity. But there's got to be a level head inside of us to run the business and make those tougher choices, and not the ones that are as exciting as whether you're going to use a red ribbon or a pink ribbon or a white ribbon at your grand opening. That's fun. But a year in, 6 months in, you'll realize how those decisions were just entry level, bottom of the barrel, really. And to have a business that lasts 10, 20, 30 years, or even to start to think about a business that can operate without you and when you're gone, those decisions are a whole different ball game. So guys, that's my entry today. That might have been a little heavy, but that's what's on my mind. So that's what this is all about, to share with you guys what I'm thinking. I hope that's beneficial to you guys. These are kind of things that we talk about inside of the Tribe membership, in our Book Solid trainings, on our podcast. Of course, there are tutorials and step-by-step tutorials like my last video, but there's a lot that is on there to also better business and better brands, and the thinking and the philosophy and just the mindset that we have to go into as entrepreneurs. Guys, whenever you are watching this, I hope you had an awesome day today, a productive day. I hope your business is doing well. Subscribe to the channel, and also subscribe to the Tribe membership, guys. It supports this free channel on YouTube, and it puts you deeper into the connection of what I do as an educator and consultant for the beauty industry.